News wire, and we'll give the floor to you as well. Afternoon, Mr. President. I'm from Singapore Newswire. The question is as follows. In China, we had an inaugural meeting, a solemn meeting, dedicated to the 40th anniversary of the openness reform, and President Xi called for going through to the end with all the measures about openness and democracy. And how do you assess the changes of the Chinese society? And Russia and China have set out a figure of 100 billion of mutual trade. Russian exports to China increased by 44%, outpacing Chinese imports by $10 billion. Are you happy with the development of Russian-Chinese ties this year?
Indeed, that is an important milestone. Not sure it will be able to reach $100 billion, but we are very close to that mark. And we'll need to count the overall volume at the start of the next year. But in general, yes, it is around $100 billion, and that is an achievement in itself. Of course, we cannot stop at that. But this is a result of the Russian-Chinese relationships, because we observe that we have greater trust between us, we work in a bilateral format, and we have sound relationships between ourselves. We have resolved all the issues we have inherited from the USSR times, and now we are moving forward. We are collaborating not only when it comes to economy, but also when it comes to international agenda. And the Russian-Chinese cooperation on the international arena is a factor which helps to revitalize the international situation, to make it stable and predictable. We positively assess the changes that we saw in China, and for such a country as China, with a population of 1,300,000,000 people, stability is crucial, especially when it comes to domestic policy, including the staff matters. And President Xi Jinping made the decision, and his party members supported him. And I guess that the decision was the correct one. Stability guarantees progressive development for China. And here we have some journalists from our regions. And Yakutia, please. Thank you very much. Alexander Ilyin, Yakutia newspaper. The Crimean Bridge is a symbol of the return of Crimea to Russia. And a bridge over the Lena River might become a symbol of the Asian part of the Russian territory. And now the question is as such, should we expect such bridge to be constructed? And if yes, then when? Because we really need it. A symbol is always something good, because it marks a certain stage in our work and allows us to move forward. That is why the Crimean Bridge is actually both. It is a symbol of the reunification of Russia and Crimea, and this also provides some additional opportunities for the development of the peninsula. This is also very important. The same is true for the bridge over Lena River. You said that it should be linked to development, and this is what we actually need to assess. The cost of the bridge, and as we've said for several years now, this is very expensive, and we need to understand whether the bridge is going to come straight to the city, or maybe we might develop the region in general on the other shore of the Lena River. to develop the economy, the infrastructure, find some possible fields, etc., etc. So we need to compare the expenses and the gains, the potential gains for the economy of the region in general. So if our colleague of the Ministry of Transport or the Ministry of Economy would negotiate it between themselves, then we'll implement the